Have you ever wondered what is the key to tranquility and happiness in life? As we journey through the ever-changing landscape of existence, this question, as old as humanity itself, often lingers in the recesses of our minds. It's a philosophical query that echoes through the ages, a riddle that seems to dance just beyond the reach of our understanding. But what if the answer isn't as elusive as we think? Enter Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that has stood the test of time, offering a path to navigate the tumultuous seas of life. Originating from the Hellenistic period, Stoicism is more than a philosophy. It's a way of life. It teaches us to embrace the ebb and flow of existence, to find peace in the midst of chaos, and to cultivate virtue in all aspects of our lives. Stoicism at its heart is about understanding the nature of the world and our place within it. It's about recognizing that while we can't control everything that happens to us, we can control how we respond. It's about finding tranquility, not in the absence of challenges, but in our ability to meet them with grace and resilience. In the grand tapestry of life, Stoicism offers a thread of wisdom that weaves together the seemingly disparate elements of our experiences into a coherent narrative. It's a lens through which we can view our joys and sorrows, our victories and defeats, not as random events, but as integral parts of our journey towards wisdom and serenity. As we delve into this timeless philosophy, we'll uncover its profound truths through the words of its most revered proponents, from the Stoic wisdom of Seneca to the enduring insights of Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus. Each quote we explore offers a nugget of wisdom, a beacon of light guiding us towards a life of tranquility and happiness. So, as we set off on this exploration into the heart of Stoicism, let's keep an open mind and a receptive heart. For as the Stoics believed, wisdom is not merely acquired, it's lived. Let us explore the wisdom of Stoicism through the lens of its most profound quotes. Scene script. First, let's delve into the wise words of Epictetus. We are disturbed not by things, but by the views which we take of them. This profound statement from the esteemed Stoic philosopher Epictetus is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. It suggests that our perception, rather than the reality of our circumstances, is what truly affects our state of mind. It is our interpretation of events, our personal narrative, that dictates our emotional response. Imagine, if you will, a glass of water. Some might view this glass as half empty, focusing on what they lack. Others might see it as half full, appreciating what they have. The glass itself remains unchanged. It is our perspective that colors the scene, that stirs our emotions. Now, let's apply this wisdom to our daily lives. When we find ourselves troubled, we should pause and question, is it the situation itself causing our distress, or is it our interpretation of it? Are we allowing our perceptions to color reality? When we're stuck in traffic, for instance, we can choose to view it as an inconvenience, a waste of our precious time. Or we can see it as an opportunity to listen to an audiobook, to practice deep breathing, or simply to enjoy a moment of quiet in our busy day. The traffic remains the same. It is our perception of it that changes. And what if we applied this wisdom more broadly? How might our world change if we stopped seeing challenges as obstacles and instead saw them as opportunities for growth? If we stopped seeing failure as a setback and instead saw it as a lesson? By shifting our perspective, we can fundamentally alter our emotional landscape. We can transform frustration into patience, disappointment into acceptance, fear into courage. We can find serenity amidst the chaos, peace within the storm. In the end, it is not the world that troubles us. It is not the events or circumstances that disturb our peace. It is our interpretation of them. We have the power to change our perspective, to choose our narrative, and therein lies our path to serenity. It is not the world that troubles you, but your interpretation of it. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." What a potent thought to ponder upon. With these words, the great Roman emperor encapsulates a key tenet of Stoicism, the concept of control. But what does it truly mean? How does it translate into our everyday lives? Imagine you're stuck in a traffic jam, late for an appointment. The tension rises, your heart beats faster, frustration creeps in. But ask yourself, can you control the traffic? The answer is no. What you can control, however, is your reaction to it. That's where the power of your mind comes into play. Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control the world around us, but we can control how we respond to it. It's about acknowledging that external events do not hold power over us unless we let them. It's about understanding that our emotional response to a situation is within our control. This distinction between what is in our control and what is not forms the bedrock of Stoic philosophy. It's a call to focus our energy and efforts on things we can change and accept those we cannot. It's about realizing that the strength to endure, adapt and rise above challenges lies within us, in our minds. Let's take another example. Suppose you've been working tirelessly on a project, but despite your best efforts, it fails. Do you let this failure define you, or do you take it as a learning experience and move on? Stoicism would guide you towards the latter. It's not the failure that matters, but how you respond to it. In essence, Stoicism encourages us to cultivate an inner fortress, a mind that remains undeterred by external events. It's about developing a sense of equanimity, a state of psychological stability and composure which cannot be disturbed by external events. So the next time you find yourself in a challenging situation, remember Marcus Aurelius's words. Remember that the power to navigate through adversity, to find peace amidst chaos, and to rise above failure lies within you. Remember, your mind holds the power. Seneca insightfully stated, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This profound quote encapsulates the Stoic principle of acceptance, a concept which, when understood and applied, can dramatically reduce the burden of unnecessary suffering in our lives. To fully appreciate Seneca's wisdom, let's dissect his words. When he says we suffer more in imagination, he's referring to the human tendency to dwell on past regrets, fret about future uncertainties, or create hypothetical scenarios that cause us distress. This type of suffering is self-inflicted, born from our imagination, and not based on our present reality. The crucial point here is that these imagined scenarios are often far worse than anything that could actually happen to us. We build mountains out of molehills, creating a mental landscape fraught with danger and despair. This is a wasteful exercise, as more often than not, these negative situations never come to pass. Now let's focus on the second part of Seneca's quote, "than in reality." Here Seneca highlights the stark contrast between our imagined fears and the actual challenges we face in our day-to-day lives. Reality, for all its unpredictability, is usually less menacing than our imagination makes it out to be. This brings us to the crux of the matter: acceptance. Stoicism encourages us to accept the present moment as it is, without trying to change it, control it, or wish it away. By accepting reality, we free ourselves from the shackles of imagined suffering. We learn to deal with life as it unfolds, responding to actual circumstances rather than hypothetical situations. Acceptance does not mean resignation or defeat. Instead, it is a powerful tool that allows us to navigate life with a calm and composed mind. In essence, Seneca's quote is an invitation to shift our focus from the imaginary to the real, from the uncertain future or unchangeable past to the present moment. It encourages us to practice acceptance, to embrace reality as it is, and in doing so alleviate the unnecessary suffering caused by our own imagination. Acceptance is the key to alleviating imagined suffering. Scene script. Epictetus once declared, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." This profound statement from one of Stoicism's foremost thinkers captures the essence of the Stoic approach to virtue. You see, Stoicism isn't just about enduring hardship or accepting fate. It's about striving to be the best version of oneself. And that often starts with the company we keep. When Epictetus speaks of keeping company, he doesn't just mean your friends or family. He's talking about the influences that you allow into your life. The books you read, the music you listen to, the ideas you entertain. These are the people that shape us, that call forth our best, or unfortunately sometimes our worst. Now let's delve into the heart of this quote, the upliftment. The Stoics believed that virtue was the highest good. It wasn't about wealth or fame or power, it was about being honest, just, courageous and wise. And who better to inspire these virtues in us than those who embody them? By surrounding ourselves with those who uplift us, we're not just seeking comfort or validation, we're seeking growth. We're seeking to be challenged, to be pushed, to be inspired. It's about choosing to spend our time with those who make us want to be better, do better, think better. So what does this mean for you? Well, think about your own company. Who are the people and what are the influences that you let into your life? Do they inspire you to be better or do they drag you down? Do they challenge you to grow or do they keep you stagnant? Remember, every interaction, every influence is an opportunity for growth or decay. So choose wisely. Choose those who uplift you, who inspire you, who push you to be the best version of yourself. In the grand tapestry of Stoicism, virtue isn't just about personal morality. It's about the collective influence of the good company we keep and how it shapes and refines our character. Your company shapes your character. Marcus Aurelius reminded us the obstacle is the way. This profound statement encapsulates the essence of resilience in Stoicism. The idea is not to avoid the trials and tribulations life throws our way, but to embrace them, to learn from them, and to grow. When we think of obstacles, we often view them as hindrances, roadblocks that prevent us from reaching our goals. But in the Stoic philosophy, obstacles are seen as opportunities, as catalysts for change and improvement. They are the rough stones that polish us into gems. Imagine a bamboo shoot, bending and swaying with the wind. It doesn't break, doesn't shatter under the pressure. Instead, it uses the force of the wind to strengthen its roots, to grow stronger, more resilient. That's the essence of Stoicism. It's not about avoiding the wind, it's about using it to your advantage. Or consider a blacksmith forging a piece of iron into a sword. The iron must endure the heat of the fire, the force of the hammer, the chill of the water. Each strike, each plunge into the water is a test, a challenge. But it's these very challenges that transform the iron into a blade of unmatched strength and sharpness. This is the Stoic way. Embrace the fire. Welcome the hammer's strike. The obstacle isn't something to fear, but something to be grateful for. It's the tool that shapes us, that molds us into who we are meant to be. So, the next time life presents you with a challenge, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. Don't shy away from the obstacle. Instead, face it head-on. Learn from it. Grow from it. Use it as a stepping stone to reach new heights. And remember, it's not the absence of obstacles that defines a good life. It's our ability to use these obstacles, to learn from them, and to grow into stronger, more resilient individuals. So, embrace challenges, for they lead to growth. So, what can we glean from these profound quotes of wisdom? As we conclude our journey, let's take a moment to reflect on the key themes we've explored through the insightful quotes of Stoicism: serenity, control, acceptance, virtue, and resilience. Serenity, the state of being calm, untroubled, and at peace, is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. It's about finding tranquility amidst the storms of life, standing firm in the face of adversity, and maintaining a composed mind regardless of external circumstances. As we've learned, it's not about eliminating emotions. Rather, it's about managing them wisely. It's about understanding that tranquility is not a destination, but a manner of traveling. Next, we've delved into the concept of control. Stoicism teaches us that we must distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot. A recurring theme in our exploration was how the only true thing we have control over is our mind, our thoughts, and our reactions. The world outside us is unpredictable and often beyond our control. Accepting this fact liberally liberates us from unnecessary stress and anxiety. Speaking of acceptance, this is another significant theme in Stoicism. Acceptance, in Stoic terms, is about embracing life as it is, not as we wish it to be. It's about acknowledging the imperfections of life, the inevitability of change, and the certainty of death. By accepting these truths, we can live more fully and fearlessly. We've seen how acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It's about acknowledging reality and working with it, not against it. Then we've ventured into the realm of virtue. Stoicism holds virtue as the highest good, the ultimate measure of a person's character. It encourages us to be just, courageous, temperate, and wise in all our dealings. The quotes we discussed emphasize that virtue is not just about doing good deeds, it's about being a good person, about cultivating an inner character that naturally inclines towards goodness. Lastly, we've explored resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity. Stoic resilience is not about avoiding hardships, but about facing them head-on, growing through them, and emerging stronger. It's about understanding that difficulties are a part of life, and they provide opportunities for growth and self-improvement. The quotes we've shared have shown us that resilience is not just about surviving, it's about thriving amidst challenges. These themes of Stoicism, serenity, control, acceptance, virtue, and resilience are not mere philosophical concepts. They are practical guides for living a fulfilled and meaningful life. They remind us that while we cannot control the world around us, we can control how we respond to it. They teach us to accept life as it is, to strive for virtue, and to face adversity with resilience. In essence, Stoicism is a philosophy of personal ethics, informed by its system of logic and its views on the natural world. It encourages us to maintain our composure, to focus on what's within our control, to accept life's ups and downs, to strive for virtue, and to be resilient in the face of adversity. It's a philosophy that, when practiced, can bring tranquility, happiness, and fulfillment. As we reflect on these themes, let's remember that Stoicism is not just about understanding these concepts intellectually, it's about integrating them into our daily lives. It's about practicing them consistently until they become second nature. It's about making them a part of who we are. Embrace the wisdom of Stoicism and find tranquility and happiness in life. As we part ways, remember the words of Seneca, "As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters." This profound quote from one of Stoicism's most influential thinkers encapsulates the essence of the philosophy. Life is a story, a narrative that unfolds with each passing moment. But the length of this narrative is not what defines its value. It's not about how many years you live, but rather how you live them. It's about the quality of your experiences, the wisdom you acquire, the resilience you develop, and the virtue you exemplify. Seneca is imploring us to shift our focus from the superficial and fleeting to the substantive and enduring. He's urging us to strive for a life that is not just long, but also good. And what does a good life entail? It's a life lived with integrity, courage, and wisdom. It's a life that embraces the Stoic principles of acceptance, control, and serenity. The wisdom of Stoicism is not just a collection of philosophical musings. It's a practical guide to living a good life. It's a call to action, encouraging us to seize control of what's within our power, accept what's not, and cultivate a sense of tranquility amidst the chaos of life. It's about being resilient in the face of adversity, being virtuous in our actions, and finding serenity in our existence. So, as we bid farewell, let's not just remember these Stoic quotes. Let's live by them. Let's strive to make our life a good tale, filled with meaningful moments, valuable lessons, and profound wisdom. Let's not just exist, but truly live. Let's not just survive, but thrive. And let's not just seek longevity, but quality. Remember, the essence of Stoicism is not in understanding its philosophy, but in applying it. It's not about knowing the quotes, but living by them. So as you go about your journey, carry the wisdom of Stoicism with you. Let it guide your actions, shape your decisions, and influence your perceptions. May your life be good and filled with the wisdom of Stoicism.